I will pay double. You have dinner with me tonight.
I need a check now. No dinner.
Okay, all right. How about lunch? I'll cater it anywhere, any place. And here is my down payment.
The people of Maracaibo. Thank you.
Noon, all right?
Oh, I'm really sorry about that, but lunch is impossible. If I have lunch with anybody, it really has to be Pete or Neil. But, thank you very much. Talk to you later.
It's a powerful weapon.
Yeah, well, it's hard to imagine a court giving custody to a woman who, on one hand, writes letters like this to her boyfriend, and on the other, thinks that she deserves full custody of my children.
I know you're under a lot of pressure, but you have to stay calm.
When do we use it?
Well, why don't we see how the case goes, all right?
Look, Herb, I don't want to hurt Vicky any more than necessary, but this letter proves that she is unfit. And you said yourself it's a powerful weapon.
It is also extremely personal, and this is a highly publicized case.
Well, she should have thought of that before she wrote it.
Clint, there are reporters all over the place that could show up in the Intruder tomorrow.
You think I want this thing read in public? My wife's love letters to another man? Huh? I'd like to rip it up and feed it to him.
So let's keep it under our hat for a while and see what develops.
Who are you trying to protect here, Herb? Vicky? Or your client?
I'm trying to protect both of you from that kind of publicity.
I don't give a damn about the publicity. What I care about is the children. If this letter makes sure that I get them, then I'm not going to keep it under my hat.
Now, look, I'm your attorney. You hired me to negotiate. Now, either you trust me or we ask for a postponement.
No. No postponements. I want you to get this over and done with as soon as possible.
Without major bloodshed, if possible. We'll use that letter when and if I say so. Now, why don't you go in there and sit down and try to relax?
All right, you're the boss.
Yeah. I also know what I'm talking about. See you inside. Jude. Hi.
Hi, Herb.
You all right?
Oh, yeah, fine. I'm just briefing myself on the case.
Oh, yes, I know. It's a rotten shame. Divorce is never pleasant, but this is... What's the matter? What is it?
Oh, God.
Hi. Chronicle? I saw it. I wanted to call you.
I confronted her and Charles. My marriage is over.
What?
This has happened before, but this time it's different. The last time I still felt a sense of purpose in life and that people needed me, like Kate and Jamie, but
Oh, Judith.
the need seems to be gone, and I... Oh,
Honey, you have to pull yourself together.
I know.
Do you want me to ask for a postponement?
No.
Judge Gersey's on the bench. I can talk to him privately.
No, it's all right. It's just seeing you again after what we went through. I'm sorry. I'm all right. Forgive me.
Well, there's nothing to forgive. I want to help you. Are you sure you don't want to call it off?
I'm sure. You know something? Here we are, two lawyers opposing each other in a divorce case, and on one level, I don't know what I'd do without you.
Dorian, I know you're busy, but I really need to talk to you.
Tina, I'm sorry, but I have to get to the studio. I have a million things to do. So could you get to the meat of the matter, whatever it is?
I saw Cord with another woman.
So?
So? He wasn't just with her. I mean, they were talking and they left, holding hands.
Kate Sanders?
How'd you know? Did you see them together, too?
No, but I saw her in action in Devil's Claw. It seems only natural that he would turn to her.
Well, I hate her.
I'm sure you do. Do you think he's in love with her?
But that's what I wanted to ask you. I mean, how long does it take for people to fall out of love?
Tina!
No, look, I know it's probably a really stupid question and everything, but I also know that he really loved me. And is it possible that he could have just gotten over me that easily?
After everything you did to him?
Yes. Oh, Dorian.
Tina, I hope you haven't come here for tea and sympathy, because as far as Cord is concerned, you deserve everything you get.
You're probably right.
Is there anything else? Really, I've got to go.
Yeah, you see, I met this man. And he's gorgeous, and he's wonderful, and he's kind and nice, and he even likes me.
Well, goody for you.
Well, yeah, but that's the really strange part, you know? I told him everything about me. I mean, even the bad parts, and he still likes me.
Did you even tell him about the baby?
Oh, no. No, I'm not going to tell anybody that I'm pregnant. Nobody at all. And you remember, you're not going to either. You promised me.
Yes, I know what I promised you, Tina. I really have to get to the studio, and I have an emergency call I need to make. Do you mind if Emma shows you to the door? Or is there something else?
No.
Emma, would you show Mrs. Roberts to the door?
Maybe Max isn't so bad after all.
Maria, I'm telling you, you're worrying about nothing. Of course I'm keeping up my end of the deal. You talked to your banker yet about that loan? Where's your faith, huh? I have every intention of winning Tina over. The sooner the better.
How long will it take? It won't be short, believe me. How you feeling? Like I'd rather be home with my children. I understand that. The sooner we start, the better. Oh, I wish Tom would get here. I'll feel a lot better when he's here. Tell me once more, in a custody suit, the mother stands a better chance usually than the father, right? Right, but the first thing we have to deal with is the divorce. Well, that won't take long. That's uncontested, isn't it? It's Kevin, Joey, and Jessica we're fighting about. That's all either one of us wants.
You okay?
I still can't believe this is happening.
Not too late to change your mind.
No, forget it. Vicky started this. I'm just going to make sure she doesn't get away with it.
Remember, whatever happens in there, you stay calm.
Yeah. Where the hell is Cord? He should be here by now.
He'll show up.
Look, make this quick, Herb. I don't want to drag it out.
I'll do my best.
And whatever happens inside, when the dust clears, those children better be mine.
Would you look at the anger in that man's face? Clint is really much too violent to be able to take care of children. Can you emphasize that every chance you get? When it's appropriate, don't worry about it.
Clint. Oh, there you are. Yeah, I'm sorry I'm late.
Yes, Cord will be starting in a few minutes. He'll be your first witness.
First? Oh, come on, Herb.
What difference does it make if you're first or 31st?
Because I hate this whole thing, Clint. I hate the idea that I had to be subpoenaed to show up here, and I hate the idea that you want me to take sides.
Would you rather be a witness against me and for Vicky? Would you rather help Tom Dennison get my kids?
Of course not, Clint. That's not what I'm saying.
Well, listen, Cord, anytime you start feeling too badly about this, just take a look over at that fella.
I was starting to worry that you wouldn't come.
Well, Vicky, I've been having second thoughts. Do you think it's wise for me to be here, considering we know Clint is going to claim that Vicky and I are lovers?
You have every right to be here. Your testimony is very important.
Docket case 4760, Buchanan versus Buchanan.
Oh, no. This was supposed to be sent over to Judith Sanders' office, not over to me.
Well, what is it?
It's a video cassette of Vicky's appeal to baby Jessica's kidnapper.
Well, why does she need it now?
Because Clint and Vicky are about to face each other in court over custody.
Excuse me. Any chance Keith called while I was in the shower?
No, honey, I'm afraid not.
Well, this doesn't make sense. He promised he'd call the minute he got to his hotel in Brazil.
All rise. In the name of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, this court is now open. The Honorable Judge Oliver Guernsey now residing. Cease all conversation. Please be seated. Good morning, Your Honor.
Thank heavens it's you.
Ooh, I didn't expect such a warm and wonderful welcome.
Well, you see, I thought you were a process server. What are you doing here?
I just got the most fantastic phone call of my life this morning.
I don't think I want to hear about this.
You like silver?
Well, actually, I prefer gold.
Besides the point, because I invested in a silver mine, not a gold mine. And the silver mine hit the mother lode. I am now half owner of mine that will put out flatware, jewelry, and teapots for many years.
Wow, that's very impressive.
Hey, what'd I tell you? The kids got it, huh? So, where are we going to go celebrate? New York? Atlantic City? Buenos Aires?
Buenos Aires, yeah.
Wait, no, nothing funny about that. No, I have enough money to buy a horse ranch in Buenos Aires that is spectacular.
Are you on the level?
Is this better?
I'm being serious, all right? I can't tell with you. Now, do you really have a silver mine and you're really going to buy a ranch?
I, Maxwell Holden, do solemnly swear that I now have the money to buy a horse ranch in Buenos Aires. Okay? Now, would you please take this gift? Because if you don't accept it, I'm going to have a lot of trouble giving you your next present.
Oh, and what's that?
The chance to get away from all this gloom, leave it behind. That and your husband, who makes you so miserable. Start life anew in south of the border.
Mrs. Buchanan,
Yes, sir.
I can't sign this no-fault divorce decree in good conscience without first asking you something.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're suffering from amnesia, correct?
Yes, I'm afraid I am.
And you fully believe that if your memory were intact, you'd still agree to this divorce?
Yes, sir, I do. Believe me, I've given it a great deal of thought.
Thank you, Mrs. Buchanan. This case is an extremely delicate one. It's affected by your amnesia, Mrs.
But, Your
Buchanan.
Honor,
Now, just give me 1 second. Your amnesia, not to mention the future of 3 innocent children. It will make it a very difficult case to adjudicate. Now, my goal is to judge what will be best for all the parties concerned. And to this end, I shall be flexible, fair, and, well, somewhat unorthodox in court procedure. I hope you'll bear with me. For the moment, the issue of the divorce is quite clear. You both want it. Now, this brings us to my least favorite issue, which is a custody fight. Before I take one step further, I want to be sure from both of you that you know what you're doing. Now, Mr. Buchanan, do you feel at all pressured into this fight by your attorney?
Well, no, of course not, Your Honor. As a matter of fact, Mr. Callison has advised me time and time again to try and reach a joint custody agreement with my wife, with Vicky.
And that proved to be impossible.
That's right, Your Honor. For reasons which I believe will become very obvious as the hearing progresses.
Mrs. Buchanan, would you consider sharing the custody of your 3 children with Mr. Buchanan?
I would have, Your Honor, but he absolutely refuses to consider it. This is his choice, not mine, so I have no recourse but to sue also for full custody.
Now, we are talking about the lives of 3 young children, aged, 10, 7, and 4 months. Have you considered their welfare in this, Mr. Buchanan?
Your Honor, their welfare is foremost in my mind.
All right. And we'll proceed. I hope you truly know what you're doing. Mr. Callison, your opening statement.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, when Clint Buchanan married Victoria Lord Riley in 1982, he legally adopted her 2 sons, Kevin, who was then 6, and Joey, who was then 3 years of age. They were the product of Vicky's earlier marriage to Joe Riley, who's now deceased. Now, Jessica was born on September 23rd, 1986, the blessed result of Clint and Vicky's union. It was blessed until the awful day when Jessica was kidnapped from the Buchanan household. Now, Jessica was later returned, but the stress of that event took a toll. It resulted in Vicky's total loss of memory for the last 8 years.
I'm going to have to object, Your Honor, unless Mr. Callison has a psychiatric evaluation he wants to offer the court.
Well, no, I do not. However, I was being charitable by suggesting that it was the result of stress, even kind. Otherwise, we have to conclude that Victoria Buchanan is merely unstable.
Perhaps it was a stress brought on by her husband's actions.
We are doing opening statements here. Mrs. Sanders, please, sit down. Go on, Mr. Callison.
Yes, the point is, Your Honor, that Victoria Buchanan has no memory whatsoever of her son Kevin since he was 2 years old, nor does she remember giving birth to either of her next two children. Needless to say, she has no memory of having met, fallen in love with, or married Clint Buchanan. In fact, her memories are only of her deceased husband, Joseph Riley. Therefore, it is impossible for her to understand what a devoted father and husband Clint Buchanan has been to this family, how he has held this family together through many, many difficult times, including the months when Vicky didn't even exist at all. Instead, she was replaced by an alternate personality known as Nicole Smith, who, by the way, also took it upon herself to divorce Clint. Now, when she came back to her right mind, Vicky was appalled, and they were remarried. It is my client's contention that the same thing will happen this time as soon as Vicky regains her memory of the last 8 years. She will be appalled, Your Honor, by her recent actions. She will not understand how she could have torn this family apart by a divorce. However, since we have no idea when and if her memory will return, Clint Buchanan is simply taking action to protect his children from outside influences, such as a man Vicky might meet and fall in love with and marry during this time of amnesia. Furthermore, in this case, it is only the father who really knows and understands the small children who are the issue in this case. It is our intention, Your Honor, to prove that he is far better equipped to rear these children than their mother is. Thank you.
It sounds like Clint's case has merit to it.
It certainly does.
Judith, my God, I've been painted as some hopelessly mentally ill person. It hasn't been proven, Vicky.
Mrs. Sanders?
Your Honor, Mrs. Buchanan's amnesia was brought on by a jealous husband who lost control of his temper and savagely attacked a family friend. I say friend because Mr. Buchanan feels that the friendship became romantic. He thought his wife was having an affair, and he was wrong. And before that, when their daughter Jessica had disappeared, Mr. Buchanan thought that Mrs. Buchanan had turned into Nikki Smith and was involved with the kidnapping and the return of Jessica. He also accused her of lying to cover up her mental and emotional illness, which of course didn't exist. Now, you know that Allison Perkins confessed to kidnapping Jessica. This story was confirmed by her mother, who took care of the child while she was missing from the Buchanan home. One friend believed Vicky's story. That friend was their family friend. Clint's jealousy grew to a point of absolute violence because Vicky went to this friend for much-needed support. Now, amnesia in itself is not a crime. It cannot make Mrs. Buchanan an unfit mother. In fact, she loves her children very much, or she wouldn't be here fighting for them. In fact, Vicky is incapable of being a bad mother. We will have testimony from family and friends to back that. In short, we are asking this court to render custody of Kevin, Joey, and Jessica to the tender care of their loving mother, rather than turn them over to a violent, angry father. Thank you.
Well, the battle lines are drawn, aren't they? I'm only violent, and she's just unstable.
Oh, it's going to be a lovely hearing, Clint.
making a big deal out of this. When Keith makes a promise, he lives up to it. Well, maybe he met a girl on the plane and they went sightseeing.
Or a less romantic idea. Perhaps he has a terrible case of jet lag and he decides to go to bed. Or he's practicing for the concert somewhere. Yeah.
Hey, ladies, how come nobody woke me up this morning?
Oh, good morning, John.
Good morning.
Well, you were just sleeping so soundly. When I got out of bed, you didn't budge, so I decided to let you sleep.
I can't believe it. I live in a house full of 3 women, and there's not enough noise to even wake me up.
You didn't have anywhere you had to go, did you?
No, it's okay, but I'm starving. What do we got?
Meanwhile, I cannot get a hold of my friend Keith. I'm worried, and these two think I'm nuts.
Cassie, why don't you just call the hotel? If he's not in, leave a message.
What a sensible idea. Isn't it nice to have a man around the house?
That's a good idea. I did write it down. Those are homemade bran muffins, John.
I suppose you whipped up this butter, too, huh?
No, I'm trying that tomorrow. Yes, I would like Keith Radcliffe's room, please.
Diane, when Cassie's finished
That's
using the phone, I wonder if you'd call a
R-A-T-C-L-I-F-F-E.
messenger and have that tape sent over to Judith Sanders' office.
You know, it's a good thing these people speak English because I don't know a word of Portuguese. Yes. Well, I thought he was supposed to check in yesterday. No, you're positive. Thank you. Okay, folks, that's it. Keith's never checked in. Well, maybe he changed his mind and he checked into another hotel. No, he has had this reservation for months. I know he didn't change his mind.
Cassie, look, you have the airline and the flight number, all that sort of thing?
Yes, I have everything written down right
All
here.
right, give it to me. I've got a few sources down. Let me see what I can find out. And relax, okay? He probably just made some mistake about where he was supposed to stay.
Why do I get the feeling that you're absolutely determined to think there's something wrong with Keith?
Who knows? I hope I am wrong.
There's been no word about Jamie's whereabouts, and he hasn't even called to find out if your mother's dead or alive.
How is she, Dad?
Oh, you haven't talked to her then? No. She and your grandmother had a 15-round main event today, then I got in the middle of it, and the bottom line is, your mother left me today, and I think this time for good.
I don't believe it. Well, I guess that's the end of the Sanders family, huh?
I don't know, Katie, I really, really believe that we'd have made it this time if it weren't for Jamie.
Oh, come on, Dad. You can pin a lot on Jamie, but not the end of your marriage.
The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
Be seated.
Mr. Roberts, you recently found out that Clint Buchanan was your real father. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
What kind of a father have you found him to be?
Well, I tell you, Clint has always been real nice to me. Even before I found out what our real relationship was, he always treated me like I was a son. Well, he supported me and gave me good advice whenever I needed it.
Good. How has he been around the 3 children?
Oh, I tell you, he's terrific. I mean, if I'm ever lucky enough to become a father myself, someday I'd like to pattern myself after a combination of Clint and Al Roberts, the man who raised me. But Clint, he's like a real buddy with the kids, a real pal. But he can be firm, too, when he needs to be.
Tell me, what was his reaction to Vicky's being pregnant with Jessica?
Oh, I tell you, sir, you never saw a happier man. Oh, just like Vicky, she was real happy, too. And then one day, Jessica disappeared, and it's like Clint's whole world just crumbled away. Well, so did Vicky's.
Mrs. Sanders said in her opening statement that Clint lost all control and beat Tom Dennison senseless. Did you have occasion to see your father shortly thereafter?
Yes, sir, I did. He called me. He said he wanted to meet with me.
Did he tell you about the incident?
Yes, he did.
And what was he like at that time? Was he still angry, vengeful?
Not at all. If anything, he was just the opposite. See, he went into that mountain cabin and he found his wife with another man, and that really made him upset. It was like a last straw, but he told me that he was feeling really ashamed about that.
Yes, ashamed, not proud.
That's right, yeah.
Let's move on. To the night that you and Clint decided to hunt for Allison Perkins' accomplice. Do you recall that night?
Yes, sir, I do.
Yes, and you went out outside of the main house at Landfair onto the grounds to check the garage for any clues that might have been overlooked? What did you do then? Didn't you walk around the rest of the property? Mr. Roberts?
Yeah, we took a walk.
Yes. Where did you end up? Mr. Roberts, isn't it true that you and Clint found yourselves outside the carriage house on that particular evening? You do understand the question.
Young man, you look very uncomfortable.
Well, sir, I am.
I personally haven't heard any relevance in this line of questioning.
Your Honor, if you'll instruct the witness to answer the question, the relevance will become clear immediately.
Mr. Roberts, you're under oath.
Yes, sir, I know. Yeah, we took a walk, and we ended up outside the carriage house.
Let the record show the carriage house is on the Landfair property, and it is the current residence of Tom Dennison and his daughter, Mary Lynn. Now, Mr. Roberts, did you on that night see anything while you were standing outside with Clint that might be termed unusual going on inside?
Well, the lights were real dim, and...
Yes, Mr. Roberts, what did you and Clint Buchanan see?
We saw Vicky and Tom through the window, and they were in an embrace, and at one point, it looked like they were kissing.
That will be all. Thank you very much.
Mr. Sanders, any questions?
Yes, Your Honor. What was Clint's reaction to what he saw through the window?
Well, he was real angry, of course. I mean, who wouldn't be?
How angry? Did you have to restrain him from going back inside and beating up Tom Dennison again?
Objection, this is conjecture.
Far from it. He either had to restrain him or he didn't.
Overruled. Answer the question, Mr. Roberts.
Well, yeah, I had to keep him from going inside, but who's to say he wasn't just going to yell at Tom? I don't know if he was going to hit him.
Now, that is conjecture. One more question, Mr. Roberts. In your opinion, is Victoria Buchanan as good a mother as Clint Buchanan is a father?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
You may step down.
Call that a draw.
No. I established that you had good reason to believe an affair was going on.
What do you think? I think that you shouldn't stand in front of a window when you're indulging in a clandestine embrace.
Cord? Clint, I knew it was pointless for me to testify. I didn't accomplish a damn thing in there.
Really? I believe your testimony suggested that I'm not paranoid about Vicky and Tom Dennison. It also suggested that I am capable of rational thinking even when I'm angry. I mean, I listened to you, didn't I? And I didn't go barging in.
Clint, I'm sorry. I just couldn't say that I thought that Vicky was an unfit mother because I honestly don't believe that. I haven't seen anything like that.
Fine. I didn't ask you to lie, and you didn't lie, so it's fine.
Well, if it's so fine, then why do I feel like such a jerk?
Cord, look, you're not the only person who has been put in an awkward position by this. I'm well aware of that. But the bottom line is still the kids and who's going to raise them. Now, maybe if you keep that in mind, you won't feel so bad. Now, one more thing. Will you run by Tina's and make sure she got that subpoena?
Yeah, I can do that. Better get a Purple Heart for this one, though.
Thanks, Cord.
Stop saying I'm not serious. I'm serious. You and I could have a blast down in Buenos Aires.
Look, read my lips, all right? I love Cord. Do you understand? And I am not attracted to you at all.
Look me in the eye and say that again.
All right, fine, okay? You're very attractive, all right?
That's better.
Okay, but that is no reason to run off to South America, okay? And besides, you remind me too much of my husband.
I've never made you cry.
No, but you're so stubborn, just like him. I mean, the way you go after what you want. Now, I don't know why both of you want me, but you do, and I am not for sale, all right? That's why I can't take this either, and I'm sorry.
Sorry doesn't quite help a man who's just been cut off at the knees by the most attractive woman he's ever met. Thing is, you don't know me.
I know. I don't know you. Maybe you robbed a bank or something to get this so-called ranch.
Not every cowpoke in Texas is poor, Tina. I mean, before the oil crash, there were a lot of rich ones walking around. I happened to get my money out before the prices dove. Put it in a silver mine like a real smart dude. And as far as your loving court, I think I can deal with that. Look, I'm not asking you to rush into my heart or my bed. We can be friends. Unless, of course, you don't want to do that.
Well, you don't understand. You see, also, I mean, my sister, she's trying to fight for her children and everything. I can't just desert her like that.
Well, I thought you were worried about testifying against her and hurting her.
Well, that too.
So, if we head down to the Pampas, subpoena will never find you.
See, I'm not a kid anymore, Dad. I see things, I hear things. Jamie and I heard them, too, when we were growing up, but we didn't talk about them. They weren't the sort of thing one discusses with one's parents.
Well, can you discuss it with me now that you're all grown up?
Yes. Yes, now that I'm all grown up, I can tell you how much your affairs disgusted me. And to tell you the truth, I'm not really sure why Mom wanted to try again with you.
Maybe, Katie, maybe it's because your mother and I both had the same problem, and that is a desperate need to be loved. Apparently, you don't know very much about that yet.
How would you know?
Well, you've never talked about it.
Well, for your information, Dad, I did love somebody once. And if things had gone as I planned them to, I would be married, working with him, and having your grandchildren. But I can tell you something. I can't ever imagine loving someone and then cheating on them every chance I got.
Just wait a minute, Katie. You are forgetting how important your mother's career is to her. A hell of a lot more important to her than this family.
Oh, I see. So it was her career that drove you to have an affair with her best friend?
Katie!
Yeah, I knew about that. Jamie knew about that. And God knows, finally, Mom knew about it. And if that weren't enough, there's grandmother disapproving of her because she's Jewish, because she's independent, and because she doesn't love the Sanders family name above
enough.
anything else.
I think it's time that you tone down the nature of this attack.
Why? Why, Dad? Is there something you can deny here? You know, it's a good thing that I study the lower species. Because otherwise I wouldn't know about family honor and love. You know, the lion mates for life. The swan, the lowly beetle. But not Charles Sanders, no.
Is it my turn now? I believe, and if your mother was standing right here in this room, she would agree with me. It took both of us to kill this marriage.
And what exactly did she do?
Well, it's not like I had an affair 5 minutes after we were married, you know. I mean, that was much later. I don't know what the hell happened. Somewhere along the way, we just lost touch with each other. Lost touch on some very important issues. Communication, mostly, I think. Well, our schedules, hell, we hardly ever even saw each other. If I had a night off, she'd be out interviewing a client or a witness for a case the next day. Or if she had 5 minutes, I was out of the country or at the Capitol or running the family business.
But you always managed to have time for your mistresses.
Yes. And I will tell you why. Because I couldn't handle the emptiness. I missed everything. I missed the tenderness. I missed the romance. I missed the humor. I missed making love. I missed all of it. So I would find a woman who would make the time to be with me and who would fill that void, who would make me feel wanted. And I'm certain your mother must have felt those same things. That's probably why she came back so many times and we'd try to work it out.
Yeah, and things were good until you accepted Mr. Ambassador to Mendora.
Yes, they were good, Katie. And I asked your mother to come with me, but she refused. Why? Because she wouldn't leave her law practice, right? She wasn't thinking of you or me or the family. She was thinking of herself.
Oh, come on, Dad. You didn't have to accept the position. What, there wasn't enough wealth and status in the Sanders Corporation? No, Grandma wanted you to fulfill the role that Granddaddy never did.
That's not the case, you see. Katie, all right. I could have refused to be an ambassador. But that wouldn't have changed anything. It wouldn't have held the marriage together. Some marriages just can't survive with two very strong individuals being successful in different fields. Ours happen to be one of them. But that does not make me a villain, any more than it makes your mother one. Katie, we were just two very strong, stubborn individuals with too much pride to give in. So what happens? We pulled apart instead of together. But darling, that doesn't mean that we didn't love each other. We did, and we do. We just love ourselves more. Which is true of everyone, including you. And God knows we love you. Katie, you're our prize from all of our years together. Do you understand?
I don't know. I just feel so lost. I think that I wanted you and Mom around at my convenience. And I thought that if you were happy together, then I would have been around more.
I don't think so. I think you'd have gone on your own way after your own goals anyway, which is as it should be. Think about it, Katie. Wouldn't you have gone to Egypt and done the different things that you've done anyway?
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I love you very much. Will you be my friend?
Of course. I love you too. Dad, I just want so much to believe in love.
I know, honey, I know. Come on, Tina, admit it. You want to come with me?
All right, fine. Okay, I'll admit that for a minute, the idea of running away to South America with you and escaping the subpoena was pretty attractive. But, you know, I always do stuff like that. That's the point. See, then I'm in more trouble than I was before.
No, not this time.
Yeah, I know, because I'm going to do the mature thing, right? Whatever that is. And I get... Oh, excuse me. Hello? You already sent him up? Oh, right. Oh. That was the front desk, and they just sent the process server up to see me.
Damn. I knew I should have booked that flight this morning.
Cassie, I've got some information for you. None of it too soothing, I'm afraid.
Okay, what is it?
Well, I talked to the airlines. They said that Keith used his ticket. He supposedly flew to Sao Paulo. But I also called the concert hall. They were furious as hell. Said he never showed up for the rehearsal or the concert.
That's impossible. That's impossible. If he had gotten there, he would have shown up. His whole reason was the piano, his whole life. His whole reason for going there was that concert.
Well, we've got to consider the possibility that he didn't make the trip at all, that someone else used his ticket.
John, what are you thinking?
Just throwing out theories here, sweetheart. Look, Cassie, when you took him to the airport, did you walk up to the gate with him also?
No, I didn't take him. Diane did.
Diane! Get your butt in here, please.
Is there something wrong? Well, John found out that Keith never performed at the concert, but the airline said he used his ticket. Yeah?
Diane, what happened when you took Keith to the airport?
Yeah, did he seem strange to you at all? Was he nervous about going? Any hint that he might back out?
No, he said very little about it. It was mostly small talk.
So then you parked your car and you went up to the gate with him?
No, he didn't want me to do that. We'd gotten to the airport about an hour before his flight, and he said he just wanted to sit and study his music.
Sounds like he was getting ready to perform.
Well, then what happened? You know, I knew I had bad feelings about this. I knew it.
Look, Cassie, do you think maybe your friend could have been involved in drug smuggling or maybe carrying a lot of money?
No, absolutely not.
You're sure? I mean, think about this. I mean, my nephew, what goes on the outside with him isn't the same as what goes on the inside. Jamie.
Yes, Jamie. I'm thinking the same thing you are, I'll just bet. Jamie disappeared on that very same day at just about the same time.
You can't just run out the back door and say I'm not here. The front desk already told him I was here.
The front desk isn't always right, huh? Tell you what, you go hide, I'll take care of it.
How?
Trust me.
Oh, I hope I can. I hope I can, because Vicky will never forgive me if I testify for Clint.
Yeah?
I'm looking for Tina Lord Roberts.
Oh, sorry. She's out of town, left yesterday.
The desk said she was home.
Desk isn't always right, I guess, huh? Oh, yeah, I'm here. Tina's out. I'm her cousin. I'm watching the place, sort of sweet sitting.
I'm from Herb Callinson's office.
Oh.
I have a subpoena here for Miss Roberts. She's to appear at a hearing. If you'd give it to her when she returns.
Oh, sorry. By the time she comes back, I'll be gone, so I couldn't possibly take it. Listen, I have got some English muffins burning in the toaster oven as we speak. Sorry for the inconvenience. Have a nice day. Adios. Heard the elevator door open. You're safe.
Yeah, but Herb's only just going to send him right back here.
Well, then I guess I'll just have to stay for a few days. Better make some reservations.
Don't you start.
What is this all about anyway, huh? What is this custody case? Who's your sister and all that?
Oh, Max, believe me, it's a long story. You don't want to hear it all.
I got no problem. I got no plans today except protect you from process servers, get you to accept the family cameo, and getting you on a plane to Buenos Aires.
You certainly are persistent.
And you're starting to like it.
I believe you if you say that you and Tom aren't involved. I mean, I would have a hard time believing even if you admitted to it.
Yes, but Judge Guernsey doesn't know me as well as you do. And we have absolutely no proof except my word that Tom and I are innocent of anything other than caring for each other.
And Clint has no proof of his allegations except one kiss.
No, Tom, he's got the letter.
What letter?
Oh, my God, you know something? I've been so busy with Judith, I never even told you about it. I'll tell you at the next recess.
Soon she'll be out of your life. Clint, you have to let go of her. You know that.
I was just thinking how little I know that fellow that's standing with her. The one she wants to raise our children with.
Tom is a very decent man. I'm just sorry that I ever brought him to Landview.
Yes, so am I. Anyway, what are you going to testify to? Herb surprised me when he said that you were going to be the second witness.
This morning I remembered a conversation that Vicky and I once had.
All rise.
This court has now reconvened.
You may sit.
I'm sorry for the long recess. The sequestered jury needed some advice. Now, Mr. Callison, you have another witness you wish to call?
Yes, Your Honor, the plaintiff would like to call Maria Roberts to the stand.
Do you have any idea of what evidence Maria can offer? No, none. Unless it's something that happened before I lost my memory.
Put your right hand on the Bible. You do solemnly swear that the evidence you're about to give this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Be seated.
Mrs. Roberts, you called me this morning because you remembered a certain conversation you had with Victoria Buchanan, in which she talked about her marriage, her children. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right. I realized how important it might be to the outcome of this case, even though I hate to have to choose sides.
We are here to reflect the welfare of 3 small children. It's their side you're taking by bringing forth any relevant testimony.
Yes, Your Honor.
When did this conversation take place?
Well, I've been racking my brain, and for the life of me, I honestly can't remember that day. But I know it was before Vicky told me of her amnesia. On the other hand, it could have been before her memory loss, and I just didn't know it at the time, so I guess I really can't say.
Why do
Would
I
you
suddenly
please
feel
tell
a
us
chill running up and down my spine?
What was
So do
said
I.
that could have bearing on the custody of the children?
Jamie knew all about Keith traveling to Brazil. And he even offered to drive him to the airport, remember?
Just a minute. This is pure fantasy, really, speculation. John, shouldn't the Brazilian police be looking for him?
Dorian, I already asked him to check out that inn.
Great. Oh, I have to go. What am I doing? I'm sorry. I've got a show. I've got to take.
I'll go with you.
No, you won't. You can help more here, Diane.
Right. Do whatever is needed, and I'll make do at the studio without you for one day. Bye-bye. Good luck finding Keith, honey.
Bye, sweetheart.
Diane, did Jamie call you after